A real treat awaits movie fans. Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40k adaptations finally got the green light. A hero long thought lost is returning for Avengers Doomsday, and a legendary Batman villain is getting his very own movie. Plus, this video has new info on the Mandalorian Grogu, Christian Bale's successor in the American Psycho remake, and much more. So stay tuned. Here's the KinoCheck news. At last, Amazon and Games Workshop have finally concluded a deal for the movie and series adaptations of Warhammer 40k with Henry Cavill. In December 2023, Games Workshop announced that the company would be working with Amazon over a 12-month period until December 2024 to come to an agreement on creative guidelines for the film and TV adaptations. And indeed, they kept their word. Games Workshop has now announced that Warhammer 40k will definitely be made into a movie and TV series. The order in which the stories will be told has also been decided. According to Games Workshop, the first film adaptation with the title Project 1 is about to begin the actual development phase, but the script still has to be written. It'll take a few more years, however, before we get to see it on the big screen or television. Warhammer 40k superfan Henry Cavill will star in all productions and serve as an executive producer. Cavill celebrated this news with a statement on his Instagram profile. Quote, "Together, we've been sifting through the plethora of incredible characters and poring over old tomes and texts. Our combined efforts have led us to a fantastic place to start our universe. We're very excited." The DCU under James Gunn is growing and growing. Following the success of the HBO series The Penguin, another Batman villain is now on the agenda. A Clayface movie is in the making. First introduced in 1940, Clayface has undergone numerous transformations since then. Originally, he was an over-the-hill actor driven to crime. Later in the 1960s, the character was given his iconic shape-shifting ability. As a result, he's able to take on any persona or form. Clayface made his mark in numerous Batman adaptations. His portrayals by Ron Perlman in Batman the Animated Series and Alan Tudyk in the animated Harley Quinn series were particularly defining. According to Deadline, Mike Flanagan will pen the screenplay. This suggests that the Clayface film will be more of a horror movie, which fits in with Flanagan's previous works such as Dr. Sleep and The Haunting of Hill House. The decision to make a Clayface film once again emphasizes DC's strategy of telling as many different stories as possible in its universe. James Gunn recently stressed that the possibilities are limitless. Quote, "We can make complete family fare. We can make something that's for general audiences like Superman. We can make something that's violent and sexual like this." The movie is being produced by the Batman director Matt Reeves, and nothing is known about the cast or the director yet. However, filming is scheduled to start in early 2025. Nobody would have expected this. After Robert Downey Jr., the next MCU veteran is now joining the cast of Avengers Doomsday. As reported by The Wrap, the talk is of Captain America Chris Evans. How the actor will be involved in Avengers Doomsday is still a secret. After all, he did make his farewell appearance as Steve Rogers in Avengers Endgame and passed on his shield to Anthony Mackie. But as we know, anything is possible in the multiverse. A return as a variant of Steve Rogers would be entirely conceivable. Avengers Doomsday could be a veritable treat for comic fans. The heroes confirmed so far include the Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts. And we'll also get to see Doctor Strange and Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man again. The Avengers team will once again be led by Captain America, this time in the form of Sam Wilson. Little is yet known about the plot. However, early indications suggest that Doctor Doom is trying to create the battle world. At the end of the multiverse saga in Avengers Secret Wars, there will be a huge event in which the Avengers have to face off against the X-Men. Avengers Doomsday will be released on May 1st, 2026, and will once again be directed by the Russo brothers. From chef to galactic criminal, the Bear star Jeremy Allan White will play the son of Jabba the Hutt in The Mandalorian Grogu. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the actor will provide the voice of the character Rada. Rada made his debut in the 2008 animated film Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and also appeared in several episodes of the series of the same name. At the same time, he was very young and was overshadowed by his infamous father Jabba. Rada is now older and possibly more corrupt. That would make perfect sense after all. The Mandalorian Grogu is set many years after the events of Clone Wars. At present, not much is known about the plot of The Mandalorian Grogu. However, we assume that the end of the third season will be used as the starting point for the movie. The Mandalorian, played by Pedro Pascal, will more or less officially ensure order on the outer rim of the galaxy with Grogu on behalf of the New Republic. In addition to Pascal and Jeremy Allan White, we'll also get to see Sigourney Weaver in a hitherto unknown role. The movie, directed by Jon Favreau, will be released in cinemas on May 22, 2026. It's now official. Disney is working on a live-action adaptation of its animated hit, Tangled. Deadline reports that Michael Gracey is in talks to direct the film. He's already directed a number of musicals, including The Greatest Showman and Robbie Williams' biopic, Better Man. The upcoming live-action version of Tangled is expected to be based heavily on the original, though the specific plot details are still under wraps. Jennifer Caton Robinson will be writing the script again, and we don't have any information on the cast yet. Last August, there were rumors that Florence Pugh might play Rapunzel, but we don't know if she's interested. And we also don't know when the film will be released. Tangled marked the start of a new era of Disney princesses in 2010 and was a box office hit with worldwide box office takings of almost $600 million. But as with any remake, many fans will be asking, is it really necessary? It's over. Sony's Spider-Man universe is officially a thing of the past. Kraven the Hunter is the last movie. After several flops, this marks the end of Sony's attempt to establish its own cinematic universe, at least for the time being. Originally, the SSU was to be developed as a competitor to the MCU, with movies such as Venom, Morbius, Madam Web, and Kraven the Hunter. While the Venom films were relatively successful, Morbius and Madam Web both proved unsuccessful at the box office and with critics. Rumors have therefore been spreading for months that Sony might give up on the concept. And now, according to the Rap magazine, it's official. Anyone who had hoped that Kraven starring Aaron Taylor Johnson might still be able to turn things around is about to be disappointed. According to current estimates, the film will make even less revenue than Madam Web. The latter was already a huge flop, with box office takings of just $100 million. Meanwhile, Sony is planning to focus more on its collaboration with Disney in the future. The fourth Spider-Man film with Tom Holland, which is part of the MCU, is due to be released in 2026. Sony is also working on other projects that should excite fans of Spider-Man. These include the animated film Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse and the series about Spider-Man Noir, which is currently being produced by Amazon. In the leading role is Nicolas Cage. However, we will have to miss out on the announced Agent Venom project, as this has now been cancelled. Progress is being made on the new adaptation of American Psycho. Now the lead actor has finally been cast, Austin Butler. This news comes from the trade magazine Variety. Butler has made a name for himself in Hollywood in recent years. His appearances in the Elvis movie or in Dune 2 speak for themselves. And we're excited to find out how Butler will interpret the role of serial killer Patrick Bateman. He has some big shoes to fill after all. Christian Bale's portrayal from 2000 is still one of his most famous performances to date. The movie is directed by renowned filmmaker Luca Guadagnino, known for works such as Call Me By Your Name and Challengers with Zendaya. The screenplay is by Scott Z. Burns, who previously wrote The Bourne Ultimatum. The handling of violence in the story is likely to be particularly interesting. Whereas the 2000 film adaptation was more subdued in its brutality compared to the original novel, Guadagnino might go one step further. The director has already proven with his remake of Suspiria that he does not shy away from large-scale acts of violence. Based on initial information, the reinterpretation will deviate from the original story and be set in the present day instead of the 80s. American Psycho tells the story of investment banker Patrick Bateman, whose life is characterized by ideals of beauty, luxury goods, and belonging to the upper class. Behind the facade, however, is a serial killer who primarily preys on young women. A release date for the remake isn't known yet. That's it for this week's news. If you haven't already done so, go to our channel and check out our overview of the best upcoming action movies of 2025. So, what did you think of the latest news? Are you welcoming Chris Evans' return to the MCU? Or is his retirement well and truly deserved? We look forward to reading your comments.